Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us for today's webinar. I think we'll give it a few minutes to allow more attendees to sign in and then begin in the next 3 minutes. Well, I think we'll begin now and welcome other attendees as they join. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Ruth Kimani. I am an associate with CLASP based in Nairobi, and CLASP is an international nonprofit that focuses on appliance and equipment energy performance and quality to mitigate and adapt to climate change and expand access to clean energy. So today's webinar is an information session on the Global Leap Off-Grid Cold Chain Challenge that's currently ongoing. And this is being implemented under the Efficiency for Access Coalition. And for those who may not know, so the Efficiency for Access is a global coalition that works to promote high-performing appliances that are enabling access to clean energy among the world's poorest people. So just to offer the structure of the webinar, it's organized in 2 parts. And for the first part, we'll walk through the application process and the nomination form and look at the timeline for the challenge. And for the second part, we'll open it up for Q&A session where audience members have the opportunity to ask any questions they might have with regards to the nomination process or application process or other questions related to the program. And yeah, so feel free to put in questions in the Q&A chat box, but we'll also be having that Q&A session at the end of the webinar, in the second part of the webinar, where you have the opportunity to ask the questions. So you just raise your hand and you'll be unmuted to ask questions you may have. Next slide, please. Right, so just to offer, just briefly overview, the Global Leap Off-Grid Cold Chain Challenge. It's a global competition that is seeking to identify and promote sustainable, cost-effective, and energy-efficient technologies that meet coal requirements for food value chains in the first mile level or among the smallholder farmers. And it does this by combining technology as well as business model assessment. And the challenge is usually is organized in 2 parts. So the first phase is the written nominations phase, which is currently open, whereby we accept written nominations from interested applicants. And those become the successful applicants in the first phase, then proceed on to participate in the second phase of the competition, which is field evaluation. Now, the nomination is currently open, and the deadline for it is on the 29th of August 2021. So it's just about 1 week out. We'll be closing the nominations window. And eligible appliances that we are looking at is walk-in cold rooms. Multiple product entries are allowed. So if you have, different appliances, walk-in cold rooms, different models or that fall in the different categories that we'll see later, you are welcome to put in applications for those. Then distributors and retailers can nominate products, but for this will require suppliers permission, and this will be essentially like a letter from the manufacturer declaring that. So nominations are free, so there's no cost attached to it. And as I said, it's a global competition, so that means for this first phase, applications are open from manufacturers or suppliers or distributors who are located from anywhere in the world. But for the second phase, for the field testing, we'll be focusing on 6 geographies, and that is India, Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda, and Nigeria. Next slide, please. And so there are so many benefits that are associated with participating in this competition. It's the second time we're running this competition, and top among the benefits is that we have $100,000 available that will be available for innovation as cash prizes for the 2 winners who will be identified at the end of the competition. We also have $100,000 that are available for preliminary finalists that are shortlisted in the first phase to support deployment of the units to the field test sites. And secondly, we'll also be doing a lot of promotional activities, which will include like having promotional videos, case studies for all participants in the project. So thirdly, we have applicants have the opportunity to reach out and sort of like find potential investors in the Efficiency for Access Coalition Investor Network, which comprises of over 18 leading organizations in that. And also applicants will be can use the Globally Powered logo. But I think the biggest benefit of all is that for distributors and companies that are looking to, expand businesses into new markets or enter new markets or even scale within the existing markets that you're currently in, this competition offers that platform to actually pilot and test your technologies and innovations in these markets. Next slide, please. So nominating, how do you nominate the products? It's quite easy. So if you visit the Efficiency for Access website, on the homepage under the Programs tab, you just select the Global LEAP Awards, and under this Global LEAP Awards, it takes you to the Global LEAP Awards homepage, where you select off-grid cold chain under current competitions. And this off-grid cold chain challenge, this is the homepage for the off-grid cold chain challenge. You select nomination form under the competition resources. So this is how you find the nominations form, but also if it's difficult for you to find it, we are also happy to send you an email or a link to you directly. And we estimate it will be about 15 to 20 minutes, to fill out the nomination product. Next slide, please. And so before nominating, what would advise is you have like a read through the terms and the conditions document. So on this slide, just have like a small excerpt from the terms and conditions document, because in the terms and conditions document, it outlines basically in detail, the process, the eligibility requirements, conditions, evaluation criteria, and other information that you might find useful as you put in your nomination. And so it will be good that you have a look at that document. And also, when you're looking at the nomination form, it's good to have like a read through the entire document, so you have an idea what kind of questions they are there, and you also have an idea of what documentation will be required to put in with your application. And so once you have all this ready, it's a more easier process to like upload and submit your application. Next slide, please. Yeah, so this is just like a small snippet of the nomination form. And the nomination form actually is divided to different categories. You have sections where you're having nominators details, you're having manufacturer details, market data information, eligibility requirement sections. So it's ordered out in that fashion. And the good thing is that it allows you to save. So that means you can, you don't have to finish the application at once. You can be filling out the different segments and saving, and then at the end, when you have all the information ready, you submit it. Next slide, please. So this is just a brief overview of the competition timeline and where we are. So currently, yeah, we are expecting to close the nominations window on the 29th of August, which is just a week away. Then September, basically, we'll be doing the pre-screening of the nominations received in August, and we'll have the evaluation done by judges, and expect to announce the preliminary finalist on the 21st of September or towards the end of September. And then October through July, we'll be looking at the field evaluation and data collection activities. So this is the period where the preliminary finalists will be required to deploy if they have not already deployed the products or do not have products on the ground. And then towards September of next year, we'll have the winners announced for the competition. Next slide, please. Oh, sorry. Just go back. And just on the left side, basically it's just like a list of resources. So in case you have questions, you can email us at info@globallyforwards.org, or you can email me directly at arkimani@class.ngo. And we'll be able and happy to respond to your questions. Next slide, please. Right, so this is just to like give a brief like overview of the eligibility, product eligibility and categories and how they've been organized. So for the competition, we require that the products nominated be commercially available or be ready to be commercially available. And then, as I mentioned earlier, be intended for cold storage for food value chains that are found in the first mile level. And then they should be compatible with off-grid power systems that utilize renewable energy sources, at least for the majority of the products usage time. And to this point, I know there might be different energy source mixes and combinations that might not necessarily align with what is here. So in such kind of situations, I think we can do like an individual assessment of the different unique combinations of mix of energy sources that are being used for the product, and then can advise accordingly on the eligibility. And then, importantly, the products should be available for deployment at least by October of 2021. And this is for the preliminary finalists. So they should be available to be deployed in either of the 6 geographies listed there to allow the field evaluation process to go on. And so the table there basically indicates the categories which we sort of like have classified the product. So we have the small category, small large category, then which is the small anything larger than that, it's on the large category, and then have the coolers and freezers. And these are technologies that are operating above 0 degrees are the coolers, and then those that will be operating below 0 degrees freezers. Next slide, please. So, there's, when you look at the nominations, terms and conditions document, there's a full list of, of all the product eligibility requirements. So briefly looking at the evaluation criteria. So as I mentioned, right now we're in the written nominations phase, and for this phase, these are mainly the 4 areas where evaluation will be conducted on. And this is similar to what you would see how the nomination form is organized. It's actually organized. Also, it has this section. So the financial viability, and this will be looking at what is the financial model for the product, what elements or what are the innovations that the companies are suggesting as a way to, increase the product's affordability and maybe meet the upfront cost and the like. And then the commercial strategy and intended beneficiaries. So this will mainly be looking at what are the proposed go-to-market strategies that applicants are submitting. So how is this product expected, or how do they see the product is going to scale in the market that they are targeting? What are the value chains that they are targeting, and related impact? And then on the deployment plan and organizational capacity, this is just looking at how applicants are demonstrating their ability to have their product out and ready in the field test site by October. And then sustainability, this is looking at aspects of how the product considerations that are taken in the product's design that are speaking to like use of, I would say, like a refrigerator that's climate friendly, or how is issues of repairability or recyclability are incorporated, whether in the product's design or in the deployment plan. So this would be like the 4 key areas according to which the evaluation will be done by the judges, and the terms and the conditions document as well will have like more detailed information on this if we need. Then for the second phase of the competition, which is the field evaluation, the evaluation criteria then will be informed by the quantitative data that will be collected on the product's performance, and also qualitative data collected among the users of the product. So we will have a webinar for the preliminary finalists to make it through the written nominations form and look at the field evaluation process in detail then. Next slide, please. So that in short is basically sort of like the main areas we wanted to like highlight, especially for those who are interested and considering to put in applications. And yeah, and at this point, I think we are ready and opening it up for any questions you might have on the information provided. So just feel free to raise your hand and Johnny will unmute you and allow you to ask any questions you may have. So as Johnny unmutes Dr. Ramrathan, yeah, we can get you a copy of this presentation. I'm seeing Eugene's question, yeah. So a copy of this presentation is available.
Hello, this is Ram from India. have already I have applied for the cold room, but actually we offer in a variety of sizes. It falls in both the small as well as the large cold room. What I have already applied is for a 450 cubic feet volume. Actually, I can give multiples of that, 900, 1800, like that. Do I have to make two different application, one for small, one for large?
Yeah, for each product, it will require a different application just because, you know, for the monitoring, for the remote monitoring equipment, you know, we need to like customize that to the product's energy system size. So yeah, so for every product, it will require a different nomination application.
Yeah, this is the same product, but the two different sizes. So I thought it be one will be so okay. Now I will make one more for under the large. This thing.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm seeing another hand raised.
So my question is, if you're operating outside of, I know you touched on it a bit, but if you're operating outside of those key focus countries, and then your submission is one, will you have the opportunity of then implementing whatever solution you've proposed in those countries, even though you're not from that geography?
Yeah, you do not have to be necessarily located in like the 6 geographies where the field evaluation will happen. So you can be located anywhere or have operations anywhere, but for the product that you're nominating, it has to be, for the field evaluation, it has to be deployed in one of the six geographies that are the focus for the challenge.
As a follow-up to that, if I've nominated it, if it's one, would I be the one that implements it, or do the donors then assume control over implementation?
No. So the applicants are responsible for, operating the products for where they are going to deploy them. So the product and how it's maintained and controlled and operated, that remains to be the nominator's responsibility. And so what the challenge will essentially be is that during the deployment, if you require assistance in terms of like maybe logistical cost and things like that, that's where we are offering like a grant to like support that process. And so the challenge would just be facilitating the nominator to deploy and operationalize their system in the field. I hope I've answered your question.
Yes, yeah, thank you.
Do you have any more questions? Okay. Yeah, so I'm not seeing any more questions, but just to reiterate that, yeah, we are soon approaching the deadline, and so we encourage you to make sure you have in the applications by the 29th of August, and we are available for any additional questions that you may have anytime. So feel free to reach out to us on email. And and with that, I think just thank you everyone for your time, and we'll be sharing this presentation with you.
I think there's another question in the chat.
Sorry. I'm not able to see this question. Are you able to see it?
Yes. The question is there funding for deployment assistance?
Yes. We do have available. We've set aside 100 $100 for deployment assistance. So on the nominations form, actually you'll see a section where it asks you if you need deployment assistance, and if so, how much you need of that. And then, then based on that, we'll sort of like give out or assess your request and provide the necessary assistance required. So I think that's the last question. So thank you everybody, and have a good day, evening, depending on where you're based, and thank you again for joining us.